So, here's my video talking about friction and nanotechnology and also how that relates to animals and the animal kingdom. Alright, so friction, what do you think of friction is the force of gravity acting upon us when we are moving. It keeps us planted on the earth, basically. So, a good example is walking. If you were to think of walking with, a very smooth shoe and a very smooth surface, you kind of just slide really easy, slide across. But if it were a really rough surface with a really misshapen shoe, you'd kind of be really hard. It would be very much slower and cause, you stuck on that surface a little bit more. The actual definition for friction is the resistance that one surface or object encounters when moving over another. So there's that. So how it relies on animals in the animal kingdom. So many animals use a sort of nanotechnology type feature of them to survive in the wild. So I have some examples here. So a fly has very small, little like hairs essentially on their legs and feet, and when they land on things, that causes a lot of friction. So it's not very smooth. Either surface isn't very smooth. So you're not going to be sliding just like that. With the fly's little hair and little things it connects to, it can't really move. It's hard to move, so it stays there. It stays put. And some flies also have the ability to modify their eyes. What that means is a lot of flies' eyes are made up of tiny little bumps, I guess, and those bumps have the ability to once again slide around and move, and that friction of moving them, it's kind of slow, but what it does essentially is when it moves apart, it makes their eyes less reflective, which means predators can't see the fly's reflective eyes in the dark, and in the wild as much, so flies are more protected that way, which is a good example of how flies use it to survive. So tree frogs, as I have done, they also rely on the technology type things to survive as well. They have little, they excrete this sort of material out of their feet. It's really small, and has a lot of friction because it's really really sticky material. So it has a lot of friction and it doesn't move very fast. And so when it gets on something, it can't move very well. So the frog is able to, as seen in this picture, hold on very tightly and be able to kind of get up on surfaces it normally wouldn't be able to. And that's really beneficial because frogs, they need to climb up things to get food, climb like trees, climb on lily pads, and a manner of different things in order to survive. Snakes are also an example. They have a sort of similar feature to the flies. It's like a little really small, like hair, I guess you could say, in which they use that to go up steep surfaces, climb up trees, because of the friction. They are able to stick very tightly with those little hairs as they're slithering up the trees and stuff, and it keeps them planted on it. That way, they can live up in their homes if they have, homes that require a lot of movement to get to, or if they're trying to get some prey. That way, that's how they can survive up there. That's one of the best ways they survive. They need to be able to slither around, climb up to places. And there's many other animals that rely on this. Spiders are similar to flies in that they have little hairs on their feet and legs in which they have a lot of friction, so they can climb up walls and stay on ceilings and not fall off. As well as that, there's nanotechnology using butterfly wings, and in spiders when they're making webs out of their silk. They use some sort of nanotechnology in order to keep that going. There's just many ways that animals in the animal kingdom use friction to survive, and those nanotechnology type features are being used, in nanotechnology for us. Like we study these animals and we figure out how they work and what exactly these little things do, and then we can replicate them to our advantage to help us with creating different things that are helpful to our society. So there you have it. That's friction, nanotechnology, and how each of them are seen and used in the animal kingdom to help animals survive. That's it.